Hello YouTube, it is Fancy Ellie here tonight on Transcending Origins. This week's topic is what we've sacrificed in transitioning. And I don't know how much I can really say I've sacrificed because I am still so early on in transitioning. However, there are a few things I definitely can speak to. And I suppose it's just kind of as things get a little more apparent that I'm, transgender and like my hair growing out and me wearing a little bit more feminine clothing, and as it gets a little more publicized, because I've posted a lot of photos of me on Facebook, on my guy profile on Facebook of me as a girl. As those things kind of get a little more publicized, I start to notice the impact a little more with socially. I think it kind of has costed me my potential for actually finding a date. Because, primarily I'm looking for females that are, interested in, I guess, primarily men. And obviously not that, so it's kind of, it limits my search. And it's a little more difficult because it's yeah, there's a big GLBT community here in Minnesota, but it's not really all that accessible, at least to me, and nor would I really, I guess, want it to be, because I don't really want to make it that much of a part of my life. I just want things to kind of flow. That's probably coming off the wrong way. Well, another thing that I think I've really kind of sacrificed, and I think this is, it's kind of just the fact that a part of transitioning, because when you're transitioning, it gets a little like this, where you just have to sacrifice normalcy. Things are not going to be normal. Things are not going to be I guess the old phrase, if you're doing atypical things, expect atypical results. And obviously transitioning is atypical. So to a large extent, I expected a lot of these weird results. I think this is kind of a weird one, but I've always had kind of some political endeavors, I've always had to have passion for politics, and I really always kind of wanted to, eventually someday maybe, I don't know, be a city council member or just some sort of low level in politics. I don't really ever want to make it my life, but having a function or a facet of myself I was viewed as kind of important, and long-term career type of stuff. And I don't think that that's necessarily a really easily accessible possibility right now. But I don't really know this because, again, I'm so early on in transitioning here. Though I was a delegate for a walking sub-caucus that I was trying to get to become a state delegate, but it was just right now I was just a district delegate. And I had my hair curled, and I was very long. That's when I had my hair a little bit longer, and I don't know. I think people reacted to me kind of funny, and mind you, I still got the second highest votes to actually go to state for being a delegate, but I really kind of feel that if I would have actually looked a little more guyish, I probably would have been able to, and that would have been a lot of fun. But it's the things you sacrifice, right? And going into this expecting sacrifices is kind of, I think, necessary, because it's with any choice in your life, you're always going to be sacrificing some possibility, and that's okay. It's when you're sacrificing possibility, really, there's nothing that much lost. It's just part of life, You're opening up this whole other world of possibilities, and possibilities that are probably going to be a little more favorable to you, especially when it comes to transitioning, for example, with the dating thing. I personally feel that, I'll now be able to find a girl that's more up my alley, and or whatever, and so I feel that, I don't know, that it opens up some good possibilities. For every door you close, there's another one open, right? And other things that I guess I have sacrificed is I'm working for a nonprofit agency, and actually any sort of if I were to be transitioning while on job with them, I don't feel I'd have a job very long because it's a fairly conservative company. I don't know. I think that's time will tell with that one. I guess kind of unexpected things that I've sacrificed as well has been kind of with my family. And I shouldn't say unexpected necessarily, because I mean I had expected certain members of my family to not react as well, and sure enough they aren't reacting as well. You know. So I guess I had always kind of hoped for my family's unhindered support, and I've kind of lost a couple members of my family, like where they're still supportive, just not as much as they would typically be. Um, and it's actually pretty much all localized to this issue. I mean, they see that I'm still myself. Of course, you know, aren't having to be exposed to me dressed up all the time. And when that actually starts happening, I can probably expect a little less friendliness from them. And so that was, you know, that's going to be kind of more of a sacrifice as time goes on there. One thing that I really was like actually kind of surprised about that I didn't have to sacrifice was my friendship relationships. All my friends that I've told, 100% of them have been like completely supportive of it. They are like, whatever's best for you. And I mean, to me, since friends are so important, like in my life, and it's such a role in my social support system, that like their support still going through this is so valuable to me. So it was very satisfying. I can't really say I've had a biggest loss to any degree yet. I'm sure there's probably going to be one that's kind of coming, but I don't really know what that would be. All my sacrifices to this point have been pretty small, and I would imagine probably the biggest loss that I'm going to be experiencing is probably job-wise. It's going to be fairly difficult to find a job, at least while I'm mid-transition. Because, I mean, I'm frankly, you know, I'm not all that passable, right? And especially if I'm kind of like, you know, on hormones and kind of like in the in-between stages and stuff, and still trying to work on my girl voice and whatnot. People are going to, you know, kind of raise an eyebrow, especially at a job interview, and they're going to be like, well, we don't want you because of this other reason, where it's actually because I'm transgender. And, I mean, this is, again, expected, you know, but in the end, when I find a good job, it's going to be one that actually is going to accept me for me. I guess the largest gain that I've had from, like, all this, through actually going through this transitioning stuff, I have had such a load off. I mean, it has been, like, I really, really, really felt as though, like, I could actually breathe better. Like, I mean, this was, like, experience, like, the first time I actually got to go out, like, dressed up. I could actually physically breathe easier. And it's been that way ever since. Like, the more I've actually come out to my friends, the more I've been able to go out in public, I have just been so much more comfortable and confident with who I am. And, I mean, you just can't beat that. And, I mean, it's strange, I guess, to some extent, that I have to, you know, go to these extremes to actually feel as good as it makes me feel. But, you know, in the end, we're all human, we're all quirky, we all have certain things that just are right for us, and as transgender people, this is right for us. And so I guess, on the whole, this is what I've sacrificed and what I've gained. Well, I could probably go a little more into what I've gained, but let's save that for another video. Anyways, good night, YouTube.